This week on Yelling About Movies.
So I just watched. So I watched Empire Strikes Back, which I have always put on the highest pedestal of that's the best one.
Absolutely.
And I don't know how long it's been since some of you guys have seen that movie, but I'm watching this thing going, this is not as good as I remember. It's fucking cheesy.
Like, well, all of them are cheesy.
In a good way.
No, but all of them are cheesy, dude.
Well, but I thought
no,
they're going to swing the pendulum and make it more grown up. But their interactions, like the acting, is not great.
But the opening, that opening in the snow, opening in the snow is so good.
Now, cheesy, that's reductive. What do you really mean? I mean,
it's just like, and this is part of my problem. Like, why have I been put in this movie? Like, no, I mean, again, these are.
It's only because the reason why we all put that on the pedestal is because the end. Okay, listen, the end of a New Hope is hopeful. Sure. That's why it's called A New Hope.
Yeah,
the end of Jedi is fucking basically resolution. It's fucking stupid.
Hey, we won.
No, the middle
but the ending of fucking Empire is everybody loses. Everybody loses, dude. The hyperdrive fails. They can't do hyperdrive. Like
annoying.
3PO, like no, but everyone they don't get. It's a fucking downer, and that's why it's cool because
I'm not gonna argue with that. That's great.
Everybody loses at the end of Empire.
3PO is annoying. The interaction between Han and Leia and Han and
Leia are kind of like high school kids in a lot of ways.
Terrible high school kids.
Yeah. My thing is, okay, this is my take. It always has been my take on it. They made Star Wars. Everyone was like blown away, and the thing is, everyone's expecting the sequel to be like Star Wars goes Hawaiian, yay, we're all yay.
But they were like, no, fucker. No,
we're actually gonna we got Lee Brackett to write a fairly decent script, and we're actually going to develop this and make it more of like a family dynastic thing, right?
I don't think
so. Now it's like a TV show that's really long,
and everyone's like, wait, these films are actually going to get as good or better than the original, and so. It in some ways was.
I'm with Chris. I think Rogue One and Empire are like my top two.
It also kind of ruined it for everybody because now they're all expected to be the next Empire Strikes Back. Everything that comes out.
I'm just like I don't like I said. I was like sort of surprised by my own reaction to some of the scenes in this movie. It's like, huh.
Well, it's all dumb. It's dumb sci-fi from the 70s. It's not good, dude. It's just, but we love it. But we love it.
We do love it. We do love it.
I've been pretty quiet through this debate.
Yes, John.
I've been pretty quiet through this debate. But however, Chris, it's nice to hear someone finally coming around to what my perspective has always been, which is Star Wars, Empire, Jedi.
I'm not ready to go there.
Better than the first movie. The first movie is a complete story with a great ending. It's one of Michael Arndt's amazingly great endings.
I saw that. Yeah.
We saw Scott and I saw a whole seminar about how
I did have that thought.
But see, Chris and I are like these. We're the depressive lovers. We want the fucking we want the.
I will not deny that the ending of the second movie is great and stirring, and that music they play as they're looking out the window of Han being taken away by Boba Fett and all the rest of it. It's like, holy shit, you just didn't expect that given what the first movie ended like.
Yeah. Right. I forgot who wrote this, but my favorite observation of Empire Strikes Back was somebody talking about Darth Vader. In the second film, he's this relentless force. He just chases the rebels relentlessly throughout the entire galaxy, finally finds Luke Skywalker. It actually fucks everybody, tortures Han, everything that stuff like that. He's doing all these awful, terrible things. Finds Luke, cuts his hand off, and says, "Oh, by the way, I fucked your mother." and so, but that's the thing. That's why that scene was so great. It's like, and then someone's by that was great because it was actually the best thing you could do with Darth Vader ever.
Agreed. Because he's surrounded by incompetence to keep failing, so he kills them.
I know it's great. But the thing is, the third film, he's like this guy who doesn't like his job anymore. It's like, oh yeah, we're chasing the rebels.
This is why, like,
exactly.
Rogue One is so good because
Rogue One is so good. I'm actually rewatching Andor right now.
It's so good for so many reasons, but Rogue One is one of the only movies, since that first original 3 where I felt like the Darth Vader was fucking scary.
Yes.
Oh, well,
you know what I mean?
Rogue One is definitely memorable because of that ending they tacked on at the last minute.
But actually, the thing with Krennic was pretty good too.
But it's the fact that Mendelsohn's character, that scene he has with Darth in the middle of the movie, And then
the shadow work in that film. Remember that?
And then but at the end of the movie, Mendelsohn is such a good actor that he sells the fact that he is so scared of Darth that he has to get like he will do anything, murder anyone, kill anything to get those fucking plans back from what's her name. And like I love that picture because he's like, dude, if I don't fucking get that, my dad is literally going to kill me. Not like in the figurative speed. Like he's going to fucking end my life.
Do the thing, and I'm going to choke to death. And that'll be the end of me.
Yeah,
right?
like I am going to fucking and there's just not a lot of actors who have been in the Star Wars canon that can act like Mendelsohn. First of all, like they just can't. And it just he sells it. And, also, and Darth is so scary in that movie.
Mendelssohn's going to be in Andor season 2.
And
no shit.
Yeah, a lot of people from the movie Rogue One are coming back from this into this one.
John, I am not 100% to where you are, but I'm closer than I was 2 nights ago. And what I will say is, Empire was the movie that the filmmakers decided, oh no, we're gonna like make this shit like Shakespeare.
Yeah.
And
or like Lord of the Rings,
or just like make a real story out of this.
In that way, ever since, with diminishing returns.
Correct.
And we're still here dealing
100%,
with it.
100%.
We're still fucking, because for some of us, Star Wars is our Star Trek.
No, it was my Star Trek, but I abandoned it a long time ago. I don't do the shows at all.
I hadn't seen Empire in a really long time, and again, you have it like kind of on this pedestal, and I'm watching this going, I don't know that I'm ready to say the Emperor has no clothes, but this is definitely not as good as I remember it.
All right. Well,
no,
the Empire has no clothes.
But there's been ever since those prequels dropped and they were panned by both critics and audiences.
Sequels are kind of all shit too.
Well, yes, okay, but
they're actually
there's been and Scott probably knows this better than anyone, but there's been like extensive writing about how, listen, this was never for adults in the fucking first place. Like this is very juvenile, very silly. Like,
and so
why are we? But the thing is we were all young when we saw this, and so we don't know.
And that's how
our perspective is fucked. Which is why we love Rogue One so much, because that was the first one made for adults, arguably.
Right. Yeah, that's why the prequels disappointed us so badly, is that we wanted to feel the way we did when we were kids, but we were not kids anymore.
Exactly.
Which is why
if you show a fucking 7-year-old the prequels, they fucking love them.
And kids who grew up with them love them. That's why they've been rehabilitated a little bit in terms of.
Well, mind you, like you said, just what Jared said, when they about Rogue One, it's like, oh my god, they're talking to the people who remember the early ones now. We're older and we can take something more with a little more.
They're like, this is for adults, but if you love the originals.
Yeah, exactly. So it was a great move,
Andor, but yeah.